This is the Week in Review, episode 238, where we go over WWE Raw and WWE Smackdown in an action figure setup style. Raw was from Washington, D.C. this week with a hot freaking crowd, and they cared about what they wanted to see, but when they didn't, man, they were silent. But yes, we are going to jump into Monday Night Raw first, and then we're going to jump into Smackdown about halfway through the video. We open up the show with Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. Of course, the face side of things for the War Games match coming up at Survivor Series War Games. They get interrupted by the Judgment Day. They try to stir the pot between the team of Sami, Seth, and all of them. They just try stirring the pot, turning them on each other by saying Jey screwed all of you out of the title against Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, you can never beat Cody Rhodes. They were just trying to stir the pot. But then Sami Zayn gave it right back at him. He started stirring the pot between the Judgment Day, and that eventually made Damian Priest say, I'm the leader, okay? I'm the leader of the Judgment Day. Then he got some dirty looks from Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, even Finn Balor. Solid promo to start the show. It led to a match between Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Great tag team match to start off the show. Yes, it did get interrupted by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They pulled them out of the ring. They started beating him down. Ding, 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 ding. Of course, it's going to be a disqualification. Then here comes Cody Rhodes. Here comes Jey Uso to even up the odds. Literally starting Monday Night Raw, how we ended Monday Night Raw last week with an all-out brawl. Adam Pearce comes out. He says, I'm tired of the game. The main event of this Monday Night Raw was supposed to be Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles, and Adam Pearce did not want that match getting ruined. So he barred all the members of War Games from ringside, from the freaking arena, so there's no possibility of anybody from that War Games match interjecting the match, which is pretty solid by Pearce, but it still managed to backfire. I will talk about what happened in the main event. It's freaking insane. As far as this match, I did pleasantly enjoy it. Right after that, we did see Ria Ripley confront Adam Pearce about how Adam Pearce has been running the show, and Adam Pearce is like, Judgment Day doesn't run Raw, I run Raw. And then Ria Ripley gets interrupted by Zoe Stark. Yes, I do realize that it's Trish Stratus. That's the closest I have to Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark comes out, stands in the ring, face to face with Ria Ripley, and I swear Zoe Stark could not get this crowd to get behind her. No matter what she said, no matter what she did, she could not get this crowd to stand behind her. I guess they just did not want to stand with Zoe Stark. Ria Ripley absolutely cooked on the microphone. She cooked Zoe Stark because Zoe Stark was saying how Rhea Ripley should be worried about everything going on in the Judgment Day and on Raw. But Rhea Ripley says, I'm not worried. I can handle all of it. I am mommy, and mommy's always on top. Rhea Ripley tried to get a cheap shot on Zoe Stark, and Zoe Stark actually reigned supreme and took the ring, which was actually kind of shocking. Shinsuke Nakamura went one-on-one with Otis. Of course, Nakamura already knocked off Akira Tozawa of the Alpha Academy. Now he looks to knock off Otis, and he did just that. Keen Sasha to the back of the head. That's all she wrote for Otis. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Shinsuke Nakamura, he pushes the buttons of Chad Gable by pushing his head as Gable was comforting Otis in the ring. And yeah, Nakamura obviously setting his sights on Chad Gable next. He wants to take out all of Alpha Academy one by one. And his last obstacle is the hardest of them all, that being the coach, the leader of Alpha Academy, Mr. Chad Gable, man. And I'm really looking forward to this match. Definitely going to be the best match out of the three with Alpha Academy. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's happening next week on Monday Night Raw. Tegan Nox took on Piper Niven in a one-on-one match. Of course, we did have Natalya and Chelsea Green on ringside. Chelsea Green tried getting up at the apron, and Natalya thwarted the effort of Chelsea Green to try to get involved in this match, leading to Tegan Nox rolling up Piper Niven to win the match. As far as the match, I couldn't really care less, but hey, good for Tegan Nox picking up a dub here on Raw. Dude, DIY cannot gain any traction. My goodness. Tommaso Ciampa had another one-on-one match, this time up against Ludwig Kaiser. Giovanni Vinci tried getting involved. He gets kicked off of ringside by the referee. Keep that in mind. Gio got kicked off of ringside. He cannot come back. Towards the end of the match, Gio comes back. Like, bro, the referee just kicked this guy off a ringside, and Giovanni Vinci is going to come back and get involved. Like, what are the consequences? Like, if there's no consequences, why would nobody just come back? Like, what? So he comes back, distracts freaking Ciampa by taking out Gargano on ringside, and then Ciampa loses by roll-up to Ludwig Kaiser. After the match, later backstage, they approach Gunther, and Ludwig's taking all the credit. He's like, oh, thank you, Gunther, for giving me the praise. It was a win for me. me. And then Gunther actually praises Gio, which he never does. He's always bashing Gio. So he praised Gio and he bashed Ludwig Kaiser, which I thought was pretty cool. Ludwig's great, by the way. I know I always say it every single week, but I really like Ludwig Kaiser. I like Imperium in general. My goodness, such a great group. Truly, they're just cool, dude. They handle themselves so cool. As far as DIY taking another L, they are not looking good. And the crowd doesn't get behind them at all. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if this is I think this is going to flop, DIY, the return of them. I really do think it is. Xia Li continues to get pushed here on Monday Night Raw. She went up against Indy Hartwell with Miss Candice LeRae on ringside. And as you would expect, Xia Li picks up the victory over Indy with that kick to the side of the head that she's been using to knock out her opponents. The ref rings the bell due to no contest. Indy can't continue. After the match, here comes Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out, of course, because she's sort of beefing with Xia Li right now. Becky Lynch scares Xia Li out of the ring, and then Becky Lynch announces a match next week that's going to be happening between Becky Lynch and Xia Li one-on-one. I'm glad this isn't happening on a pay-per-view. This is definitely a Monday Night Raw caliber match right here, and it ought to be pretty good. Becky Lynch could put Xia Li in her place. It was The Miz going one-on-one with Ivar, probably my favorite match of the night. Dude, The Miz has been popping off. He's been hitting tornado DDTs. He was hitting the famous it kicks, of course, to the chest and the head of Ivar. He even got the last one, of course, it's the yes kicks, and the crowd was chanting yes when he was doing them, which I thought was freaking awesome. In the end, Bronson Reed runs down. He distracts Ivar, and Bronson Reed has a history of helping Miz win matches, so this only makes sense. Maybe Miz paid him off to come out and distract Ivar, or Bronson Reed just wants to start beef with Ivar, which he definitely did. He distracts Ivar. Miz is able to roll up Ivar, pin him 1, 2, 3, and then after the match, Bronson Reed attacks Ivar, very similar to what Ivar did to The Miz last week. He hits the tsunami splash on Ivar and freaking destroys him, and redirects the attention of Ivar towards Bronson Reed. This is going to be a kick butt match, by the way. Two freaking monsters going at it. It's going to be awesome, most likely next week on Raw, I would assume. Bronson Reed and Ivar. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, The Miz still grinding here on Raw, winning matches. Serious Miz. I love it. He's got Gunther at Survivor Series for the IC title. Damian Priest has officially accepted JD McDonough into Judgment Day by giving him a vest, of course, because earlier in the show, at the beginning segment, Damian Priest was about to get speared by Jey Uso, and JD McDonough took the hit for Damian Priest, and JD McDonough was in medical, so that could have been Priest, and it could have caused these two to freaking forfeit their tag titles in the main event. So Damian Priest is like, you know what, you're part of Judgment Day, let's get this done. I could get behind you, man. You're pretty freaking cool. Finn Balor was all with it, man. It was awesome. So Judgment Day is stronger than ever. They have 4 men that are going to be going into War Games at this point in the show. It was our main event of the show. It was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso going up against Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. And you got to remember, every single member from War Games, unless you're part of this match, you were barred from the arena. So there was no possibility of anybody getting involved, right? First of all, this match was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Cody Rhodes, probably my favorite part about the match. This was so unique. Cody Rhodes gets sent into the steel post, and you guys know how like the Raw and SmackDown steel posts are like covered by like that aluminum like LED like cover. Cody Rhodes gets sent into the post, and then the cover comes off. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. I don't know if that was staged. I don't know if that was like planned, but like, bro, it was so sick when that freaking cover came off. Like, that is so awesome. Anyways, nearing the end of the match, we do see Drew McIntyre make his presence felt on ringside. He made eye contact with Jey Uso. He hits a Claymore on Jey Uso, sends him back into the ring, all while the ref isn't looking, keep in mind. And then Finn Balor's able to take advantage and then pin Jey Uso to retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. A member of the Judgment Day did not get involved, but Drew McIntyre screwed over Jey Uso because he still can't get over the fact that Jey Uso screwed him out of the title up against Roman freaking Reigns. Or did Drew McIntyre just want to join the Judgment Day? Because after that, he went up the entrance ramp and he shook hands with mommy Ria Bloody Ripley. Drew McIntyre could officially be heel. He shook hands with mommy. Is he part of Judgment Day? Is he going to be the 5th member of the Judgment Day team at War Games? Does that mean Cody, Sammy, Seth, and Jay need to get Randy Orton? Yes, it does! Please! Randy Orton needs to be a part of that match because now Judgment Day has 5 men. They got Drew now. So now it could be 5-on-5. Oh my gosh. This is going to be so freaking awesome. But this was shocking to me because Drew McIntyre approached Seth Rollins earlier in the show, and he said, I'm going to let bygones be bygones. I'm going to get back in line. I'm going to work my way back to the top, Seth. Congratulations on beating me at the Crown Jewel. I was like, that is odd. Drew McIntyre playing it nice guy backstage, and then he turns heel here in the end of the show. I'm like, why didn't he just attack Seth Rollins backstage earlier? Like, what the heck is going on? Super duper odd. Is Drew McIntyre 100% heel? I don't know if that could be 100% answered yet. Obviously, he screwed over Jay, but he's got beef with Jay. But he was happy with Seth Rollins backstage, and now he's shaking hands with Mommy. Bro is an oddball. I really don't know what's going on with him. But as far as the end of the show, pretty freaking fire. That was Raw, WWE action figure setup style. Monday Night Raw this week, I am going to give a solid 3 out of 5. I thought that was some really lame stuff. My goodness. But there was some fire stuff, like the Drew stuff, obviously. And jumping into the SmackDown side of things, we opened up the show with Damage Control. Of course, calling out Charlotte, Bianca, and Shotzi for not having a 4th member to make it War Games. Yeah, they challenged them to a War Games match. It's going to be a 4-on-4 because unfortunately Dakota Kai is injured, so it can't be 5-on-5, which is super lame. But I mean, hey, it's still going to be awesome. 4-on-4 is going to be sick. Charlotte, Shotzi, and Bianca interrupt and say they're going to find a 4th tag team partner, and they accept. It ends in an all-out brawl, and Damage Control says that they will not be able to find a tag partner because they're going to take out everybody that they try to recruit backstage. They took out Meech and Mia Yim. They took out Selena Vega, people that they were trying to recruit. And then in the end of the show, we figured out who their tag team partner was. I will talk about that in a bit. Had a really fun triple threat tag team match to open up the show. This was our opening match. It was the #1 contendership for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. It was the Brawling Brutes, Pete Dunne, Butch, as well as Ridge Holland versus the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. Once again, this match was a lot of fun. Awesome action all around. In the end, we did see Butch accidentally bro kick Ridge Holland. Of course, a complete accident. There was no heel intention behind it. And then after that, the Street Profits were able to take advantage and pin Butch with their little double team maneuver. And the Street Profits will face the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Judgment Day next week for the tag titles. As far as the match, I really enjoyed it. And is this going to start cracks in the Brawling Brutes? Dude, Sheamus, you need to come back and set your boys straight. Axiom from NXT went one-on-one with Dragon Lee, and that was easily match of the night. My God, they tore the house down. I just don't have any of their figures, so I'm not able to set it up. But oh my goodness, that freaking match was insane, bro. Literally acrobatic, insane maneuvers all around. In the end, Dragon Lee was able to pick up the victory, and they both had the match to honor Rey Mysterio, who's getting a leg surgery due to Santos Escobar. So that match was awesome. It was dedicated to Rey, and my goodness, Dragon Lee and Axiom looks so good, bro. Call up Axiom. Seriously, that dude is insane. Speaking of Santos Escobar, that scumbag came out here, and man, is he a changed man. He is 100% heel. Last week, I said how he was hesitant taking out Rey, and he was, but he is 100% heel now. He came out saying how he wishes he did more damage to Rey, and you should never meet your heroes, and he wishes that Rey's leg surgery went bad, so then they amputate his leg. I'm like, a one-legged Rey Mysterio, that would freaking suck. He gets interrupted by Selena Vega. Selena Vega comes out and just, you could tell she's disappointed in Santos. She slaps him across the face. Here comes Cruz del Toro. Here comes Joaquin Wilde. Santos Escobar actually tries to recruit them. He's like, you guys want to come back with me, or you guys want to stay with Rey? And then Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, they chose to side with Rey Mysterio, of course. And then Santos starts beating both of them down, which was super unrealistic. 2 versus 1. Santos just takes them out like they're literally like nothing. Like they're literally children. It's like, what? Bro, like they weren't even fighting back. But anyways, Carlito comes out to even up the odds. He scares away Santos Escobar, and it set up a match for Survivor Series. Santos Escobar versus Carlito, and I'm really looking forward to that. No doubt about it. Santos is a really good heel, by the way. He can talk, dude. He's a really good heel talker. Paul Heyman came out talking about Solo Sikoa's win at the Crown Jewel and how John Cena will no longer be a WWE superstar, how John Cena's retired. But those words came out of Paul Heyman's mouth. They didn't come out of John Cena's mouth, but he did say that John Cena can't talk due to the Samoan spikes from Solo Sikoa. But Paul Heyman, he was speaking for John Cena. I don't believe him one bit. They get interrupted by LA Knight. LA Knight comes out and he starts baking Jimmy Uso, calling him dim, and then he went up in a one-on-one match versus Jimmy Uso, one-on-one. Not bad at all. Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman leave the ringside area due to a phone call they had received, I would assume by the Tribal Chief. As far as the match between Jim and LA Knight, I feel like we've seen it before. LA Knight hits the BFT to win the match. 1, 2, 3. After the match, here comes Solo Sikoa. He runs back down, looks to get a cheap shot in on LA Knight, and he does, and then it starts to become a 2-on-1 beatdown. Jimmy Uso jumps back in the fray, and then here comes Cody Rhodes, dude. from Monday Night Raw. I was not expecting his music hit. I'm like, oh my God. It took me like a couple seconds to fathom that it was Cody Rhodes' music hitting on SmackDown. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Cody Rhodes. So Cody runs down and he helps freaking LA Knight take out Solo and Jimmy, because obviously he has history with the Bloodline. He just fends him off, scares him out of the arena so they don't do any more damage. And then Nick Aldis approaches Cody backstage. He's like, really? Why are you here, man? Why are you here? You gotta go. You gotta go now. Because, of course, he's a Raw Superstar on SmackDown. Nick Aldis is super serious about SmackDown, or Raw Superstars infiltrating SmackDown. He does not like it. But that was awesome. Seeing Cody Rhodes pop out here for an episode of SmackDown, I love that. And the main promo of the show, Charlotte Flair made a call to a special little person, that being Becky Lynch, to be the 4th member of the Charlotte, Shotzi, Becky, and Bianca team to go up against Damage Control. Once again, Dakota Kai will not be part of that, so it will be a 4-on-4, 8-women match in War Games, and then the men's match is scheduled right now to be on 4-on-4, but I know Drew's going to join Judgment Day, and I know they're going to get either Randy Orton or CM Punk to join the face team, most likely Randy Orton. But dude, this is awesome. I am super excited that Becky Lynch is part of War Games. She's going to do great in there, and against Damage Control, this is going to be a heck of a match, dude. Seriously, there's some freaking wild women right here, especially Shotzi, Kairi Sane, like, oh my gosh, dude. This is going to be an awesome match. Solid way to end the show of SmackDown. As far as the brawl, of course, because they brawled after this, the brawl was a little unplanned. You could definitely tell, because Charlotte and Io Sky were staring at each other for like 20 seconds trying to debate what to do. Like, okay, should we keep fighting, after they totally missed the moonsaults? But yeah, it was kind of an awkward ending to SmackDown between these women, but it wasn't bad. I'm excited for the War Games match. That was SmackDown and WWE Action Figure Setup Style. SmackDown was actually really, really freaking decent this week. I really enjoyed this episode of SmackDown. I'm going to give it a 4 to 5. I literally almost enjoyed everything. And if I enjoy everything, I'm really going to give it a good ranking. And Road Dogg was on commentary, bro. Road Dogg was kicking butt on commentary. I love when they have special guest commentators, like past wrestlers. Just makes commentary feel so much more real and less freaking robotic. Like, they just make it seem so real. Like, it's just real comments coming out of the legends or former wrestlers or wrestlers themselves, just voices. It's like, oh, it makes it so much better. Seriously. This episode of SmackDown was goated. 4 to 5. Let me know what you guys thought of SmackDown and Raw down in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys next time for the live is